not many bands who can continue to put out quality albums the way that we do. I think, you know, in the death metal world, it's pretty much unheard of. All bands have done shitty records. I don't think we have yet.
Så här i början på inspelningen så man håller på med trummor, inte så mycket man kan göra utan det blir
Vilka cigaretter?
Jag har repat den här gången därför. Låtarna är klara så det är inget jobb istället. Man röka. Fast jag borde göra det.
We've done, I think there's 3 recordings and 4 albums in Gothenburg, and we decided that it's time to move somewhere else. And we're talking about recording in Texas in the United States, but that's a great studio that we were looking at in El Paso, but it's easier to be close to home, basically, because it's cheaper, you know. Swedish studios are cheap, and it's easier to just pack everybody in a van and then leave, and you're in the studio. It just takes us 2 hours to go there.
I'm happy with the album overall. I think it's a good collection of songs, good sound, good production, good performance by everybody. I'm very happy with my vocals on this one, especially clean vocals. I think they sound like I actually can sing. The screams are I was kind of worried in a way that I'm going pussy. You know, I can't do the meanest, most evil sounding screams anymore. But I could. And they are very, very good. I think it's one of my best performance vocal-wise overall on this new album. And the songs I'm really happy with. We were able to rehearse for the first time since I can't even remember. So the band knew more about the material. I knew more about the material, and I spent more time writing these songs. I was more, went more into the small details. All the songs were pretty much finished by the time we entered the studio. So, it's obvious it's going to come out better, at least for us, I feel more happy with this album than I've done in a long time, pretty much.
Give it
the addition of Per is for us as a band. It's the most important thing that happened to us. Forever, I guess. Per is the best musician in the band. He's super professional when it comes to his playing and everything, and you feel inspired. I feel inspired when I see him play, and he's been a professional musician for almost 20 years, I think, and he knows how to play. You get the feeling he knows everything.
Find the forgotten moors where the victim is to
Fuck keyboards. I was one of those guys. I didn't like keyboards in the beginning, but since I got into the whole progressive rock thing, I started to appreciate and even love some of these sounds, and that's basically why we did Save Damnation, that record. And since we toured for Damnation, we needed someone to play the keyboards, and Per, we known him from Spiritual Beggars, and I knew he was a terrific musician, and that's really what he is. We started playing with him, and everybody's like, wow, we need him in the band. Hur mår du, Per?
Jag mår bra. Hatar att bli filmad då. Värsta jag vet.
Hatar du det?
Ja, det har jag.
Varför gör du det?
Jag hatar det.
Hur kan man hata det? Det kan inte vara värre än krig.
Jo. Det är det faktiskt.
Krig drabbar bara andra, inte dig.
He can play the keyboards obviously better than anyone I know, and he can sing. He's got a great rock type of voice, old man's rock, and he can play the guitar, better than me basically. Not really. That kind of, energy injection in this band. We gotten a little bit jaded with the whole thing, and me, I never want to find myself in a position where I write for the purpose of doing a record. I want to write for the purpose of coming up with something extraordinary. And having Per in the band helped me to write this new album quite a lot, even though it's by no means a keyboard-based record. That instrument influenced this album, and it helped me to see new ways on how to write these songs, and it was very interesting, and he's great, I love him. Well, Lopez has not been doing well, for quite a long time. As most people know that about his anxiety attacks, and his mental health is not great, to be honest. we had many long talks, me and him. You know, sometimes he's like, I'm not sure if I want to continue with this band. And the next day he's like, I'm so happy I'm in this band. If it wasn't for this, well, you know. So at this time, we don't really know what's going to happen with Lopez. I'm hoping that he will recover and find his way back into the band, you know.
You burn that skin, it's a new one. Wakey, Mr. Lopez.
So fun to play.
He's a great guy, you know. He's part of this family, you know, and he's a terrific drummer, as everybody knows. So obviously we want him to find that kind of spark again, you know, that he want to play drums. He's a born drummer. He's a natural talent.
Devil cracked the earthly shelf who told you was the one. The hope into the room and said you have to live before you die young.
We sent him back home. We did the Sounds of the Underground tour, and basically he wasn't fit to play. We thought he was when we went out for that tour, and we realized, and he realized that you know, he didn't. I think he couldn't keep his food in his, you know, he was eating, but he couldn't keep it. So he got thinner and physically weaker by the day, basically. And we came to a point where I think the level of his drumming just reached a level where it wasn't good enough, you know. And we decided with him, we had a big meeting, and we decided he should go home and basically recover. We didn't want to say to him, you know, after all these years, like, you got to be back in 14 days, you know, because, you know, we're great friends with him, and we don't, pushing a guy like that is just going to make it worse. He's gonna be back in 14 days, but then the same thing is going to happen 2 weeks later. So we said to him, you know, take the time that you need, but we have to work in the meantime.
So in the meantime, we have, you know, we're waiting. You know, Lopez is still in the band, you know, and we're waiting for him pretty much. But we obviously, this band can't stop. You know, we need to work. We have a new record out. So we had Gene Hoglan play with us, which was awesome. You know, it's Gene. You know, it's a legend, and one of the best drummers in metal. Period. He played with us on the Sounds of the Underground tour. And now we have Martin Axelrod, or Axe, as we call him, playing with us. And he's also a fantastic drummer, you know. A lot of people think he's a metal drummer, but he's a rock. He has the same background as me, you know. I think one of the things he said, like, I asked him about his influences, like, he's at Ian Pace, you know. I was like, you're in, you know. It's important for us to have anyone who plays with Opeth needs to step out of just being a metalhead. That won't work, simple as that. You know, obviously they need to have that nailed down as well, all the metal kind of things, like the double bass and fast kind of fills or whatever. But there's so much more to this music than just metal. So a drummer, that's kind of the heaviest position, being a drummer in Opeth. That's kind of rough, you know. It's a tough position. You need to be quite good.
Devil cracked the earthly shelf who told you was the one. The hope into the room as it you have to live before you die young.
Sitter bra alltså. Helt värdelöst faktiskt. Vad gör du?
You know, in many ways I have fulfilled my dreams because of the fact that we are touring, you know, and we are earning money. This is my job, and this is my dream, you know, to be a musician playing the guitar in a metal band, you know.
Yeah, we're here on the bus. We're in Austria. We're moving out from Vienna, and we're on our way to Italy.
How was the gig, Mike?
It was very fantastic.
Very fantastic.
Very, very beautiful.
What does that mean? Beautiful?
A very beautiful gig.
Really, really good. Beautiful.
From here, boy.
Roadkill.
The tour has been excellent. The guys and I really enjoying our days in the bus. We really love doing this, sitting in these shitty rooms day and night, and we're just, just grateful and thankful for the fans for buying the record. That's it.
During the intro, we always shake hands. And I got a routine, I got earplugs when I play, so I have to put them in. The intro has to start, then I put the earplugs in, and then shake hands with everybody else. That's the routine. Du kan väl berätta vad fansen i Tyskland, vad de gillar för något? Vad vill de höra?
Heavy metal! Blackwood mortal! Metal!
It's pretty funny because we have, me and Mike have, every time something cool happened to us in the band, it could be anything, just hanging out with, just playing a show in New York, for example, we always, well, not always, but sometimes we have, we go back, we talk about, do you remember when we started the band or whatever, early days when we carried our own amplifiers to Bialagstugan in Huddinge in Stockholm.
This is our rehearsal room with my first band Eruption that later was Opeth. It was me and Anders. So we carried everything through this little wood here. And it was a drum kit and PA and amps and stuff. It used to be brown, like shit Turd Brown.
Back then we had the dreams, you know, we're gonna be the biggest band in the world, and we thought we were the best band in the world. Now, 15 years later, we realize, you know, we're not the best band in the world. But things has happened, but it's happened slowly, you know, in small steps. So it's never been like a big explosion where just things got out of hand at all.
So I've never been a rock star in that sense that that we're, you know, staying at the penthouse of the Hilton and that kind of stuff. So if those are kind of dreams, you know, maybe that's the next step for me. But I don't really care about that stuff. I'm older, more wise. So I just want to go back home, you know. On tour, I do the gig, have my Corona, slice of pizza, and want to go back home. That's my kind of rock star creed.
Sex, drugs and email.
Vet du, det ser inte ut som en rocksnubbe, det ser ut som ett uteligger.
Det är ju fan närmare
En
så.
kvinnlig uteligger.
Kvinnlig?
Ja, det är det där håret i ansiktet som gör...
Nej,
Ja, det ser ut som en gammal tjej.
en rock.
Det ser ut som oss i 86.
Vilken jävla förolämpning.
Det enda som fattas är en varumang framför.
The thing is that the last couple of years we've been working pretty hard. There's album recordings and there's tours, and basically you're never home. And this is you know, the rock and roll dream in a way, because we are on tour, we play these shows. We have there's a lot of fans coming to the shows and everything. And the backdraft of that is obviously that we're never home. You know, it's hard to keep up with your family life and, you know.
My motivation, I don't know really what it is. It's just, you know, something that's very natural. It's like eating, taking a shit and sleeping, fucking. Making music is part of my life, and it's a very, very important part of my life. Something I guess I couldn't live without. Not the best I've heard in my life, but not the worst. It was quite a good reception overall, I think. It was, and it's the first, you know, usually when we put out a new album, everybody hates it. It's the worst thing we ever done. It's fucking shit. They sold out. And obviously a lot of people thought we sold out because we signed to Roadrunner, but those people are idiots. So the overall reception was very good this time. I was quite surprised, actually. I'm used to just being slagged off, you know, when we put out a new album, but they liked it. har du gjort i morse? När gick du upp?
7 på morgonen.
7? Men du brukar ju sova till 7 på kvällen. Förklara dig. Ditt liv är ändrat. Men vad har du gjort idag? 7 på morgonen?
Supit som en gris.
Vad härligt.
But I think we have almost like a little Grateful Dead vibe to our fans. I think we got really diehard fans, and I think they, you get the feeling that they've been around for a while, for a long time, and they honest, and they, they will never abandon you. That kind of feeling, and
our fans are very dedicated to the band, and I think you get Opeth is not just a band you listen to for a couple of weeks and then you move on to the next. You're hooked for a long time, I think, once you get into the band. They are responsible for our success in many ways.
Sometimes you feel like, we're just regular bums from Sweden, but they treat you like you're some rock and roll god or whatever.
Some fans think that they own us, that we are part of, like, with their property, if you know what I mean, that they can say anything to us, and that we should act almost like, whatever they decide, we should do it because we owe them. Entire families coming, all, they got the Opeth shirt on, like mother and father and 2 kids. Front row headbanging, it's great. But I think, at the end of the day, it's just music, and I like to think it's good music, and that is why we have fans at all, because we have music that's goes beyond the regular whatever shit music that's played on the radio, or even in metal today. I think it's the bands that are popular in metal many of them are really, really bad, I think. So, I'm happy that we're here, we're still around after all these years.
So it's hard to actually say what's gonna be the next thing for us, but I don't think we're ever gonna be stagnant in that sense that we're gonna just put out another album. We are going to try. We're going to try to do, you know, something that's really different and push ourselves to do, you know, interesting stuff. But it's hard to say. I mean, if we can always do like a reggae album, but we're not into that kind of music even, you know. So there's going to be something that's different from things that we've done before, but it's also going to be like an Opeth feeling to everything that we do.
I'm not really afraid of anything, you know. If nobody will buy our records anymore, if we get dropped, and if the band if the band is not around anymore, if we split up, whatever, I'm not afraid of anything like that, because I know what I'm gonna do with my life, you know. My life is about music, you know. I've dedicated my entire life to being a musician and being, you know, surrounding myself with music, and obviously I love playing with the guys in the band, and I hope that this will go on forever. But if it doesn't, you know, that's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna be a big problem for me, because I'm gonna continue with something else. It's just a phase, I think, and that phase might go on forever until I die or whatever. But if we split up tomorrow, I'm still gonna continue with music. It's as simple as that. For me, this album is so new, you know. It might as well come out yesterday. So I don't have a clue what to do next, and I will not know what's gonna happen with this band until I start writing for the next album, nor what direction it will be. I'm hoping it's gonna be good.
Roots are sunken, leaving from my source. Tired bound, reaching for the light.
I want this band to be always about quality, and the day that we're not about quality anymore, it should have been, you know, it should be closed. And I hope that we realize it ourselves.
This band is about quantity.
But, you know, I always want this band to be about well, I think
Opeth future.
I think you know, this band should always be about quantity and nothing else. You know, that's all.